So as we know, glycolysis starts from the glucose molecule. And after glucose 6-phosphate will be formed. Glucose 6-phosphate. So I am writing the entire steps. You just write with me so that you will have the idea about all the steps, and after writing it clearly you will have an entire pathway in the form of a sketch so that you may understand the things. So after glucose 6-phosphate we will have fructose 6-phosphate. Fructose 6-phosphate. After this, fructose 1,6-diphosphate. Fructose 1,6-diphosphate or bisphosphate. We may either write diphosphate or bisphosphate. It is the same thing. Now, after this step, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, and it will be in equilibrium with that of dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Dihydroxyacetone phosphate. And which step will come further? 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid. We may write it glycerate also. We can also write it as glyceric acid. And what will be the next step? 3-phosphoglyceric acid, and then after the 3-phosphoglyceric acid, 2-phosphoglyceric acid will be formed. 2-phosphoglyceric acid, and then after what will be the next? Phosphoenol pyruvate. Phosphoenol pyruvate. I already have described the structure of all these things, but I am writing the entire steps together. And what is the next one? After phosphoenol pyruvate, finally pyruvic acid will be formed. Pyruvic acid or pyruvate. Suppose I am calling it pyruvate, means it is its ionic form. Likewise, pyruvic acid or glyceric acid, if you are writing glyceric acid, it is not the ionic form. If you are writing glycerate, it will be the ionic form. And I already told you the structure of glyceric acid. So this is the overall pathway, and now I will write the enzymes which are associated with the specific steps. And first I will give the number, then I will write clearly the name of the enzymes over here. So 1 hexokinase, and here will be the phosphatase enzyme, and likewise which enzyme will be here? It will be given as 3rd, likewise 4th, and here we will write the 5th enzyme, and here we may write 6th. The interconversion is also possible over here directly, so we may write it 7, and now, or you can write 6 because both are same. Enolase enzyme will work here also and here also, so you need to write 6 only. Likewise here 7, here 8, 9, 10 and 11. So we will write the name of the enzyme with this particular number so that we may clearly represent it, and you may just write it with me and then after try to remember this. So which is the first enzyme? First one is hexokinase. Hexokinase. It is also called glucokinase. Now the second enzyme means which facilitate the conversion of glucose 6-phosphate into glucose, that is glucose 6-phosphatase. What will be the next one? That is third enzyme will be phosphohexose isomerase. And since it is glucose sugar, you can also write it as phosphoglucoisomerase. Now what will be the fourth one? Phosphofructokinase. Phosphofructokinase. Now what will be the fifth one? It is a phosphatase enzyme. So we will write that as fructose bis phosphatase. Now what is the enzyme which is working over here, which is working at the 6th position? This is aldolase. And one enzyme is also there. See this position, that is in between glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and dihydroxyacetone phosphate, which we have left in giving the numbering. So we will just number it as 6A. For our convenience, we will number it as 6A because it is left. So it is triose phosphate isomerase. So we need to write it as triose phosphate isomerase. And why it is called triose? Because these are trisaccharides or these are basic triose sugars. And now after having the name of this enzyme, we will move to the 7th one. And which enzyme will work at this position? That is in the formation of 1,3-bis-phosphoglyceric acid from glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. This enzyme is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. Now we will write the name of the 8th enzyme. This is a kinase enzyme. So this kinase enzyme will cause the transfer of the phosphate group from the organic molecule to the ADP. So this enzyme is phosphoglyceric acid kinase. We may also call it as phosphoglycerate kinase. Now we will write the name of the 9th enzyme which is working at this position, and here you can see the transfer of the phosphate group is taking place and the change of the group from the 3rd position to the 2nd position is occurring over here. So the name is mutase. So the enzyme name will be mutase, and we will write it as phosphoglycerate mutase. Now we will write the 10th one, and that is enolase. By the name of the enol group. And what will be the 11th one? That is pyruvic acid kinase. The enzyme is pyruvate kinase, or you may call it as pyruvic acid kinase. pyruvic acid kinase. So these are the different enzymes. You can say these are about 12 enzymes, but we have numbered it like 6A, this one, that causes interexchange of the 3 carbon sugars, and by this we have 12 enzymes, and we need to remember that because each of them used to involve in the particular step of this pathway. So we need to remember their names, and now we will write what are the steps where the exchange of energy is involved. So we can see at the first position the exchange of energy is there, and what is going on here, ATP will get changed into ADP. Likewise at this position, here what is happening, the same thing is happening because extra phosphate group is getting added up, and here you can see destabilization of glucose is taking place, and here the addition of extra phosphate group. So here also we will write ATP into ADP, and likewise we will write at this step where the change of, or you can say the reduction of coenzyme is occurring, that is NAD plus is getting changed into NADH. It is a very important step, and from this step it will go to, that is the electron will be transferred to electron transport chain. So we may just indicate it as ... and here ETS, that is electron transport system. So here the electron is getting transferred from this particular position, and since the glycolysis is taking place in the cytoplasm, it will go to the inner mitochondrial membrane by entering into the mitochondria. So what other steps are there where the exchange of energy is taking place? So this is this step where the change of ADP to ATP used to occur in the conversion of 1,3-bis-phosphoglyceric acid into 3-phosphoglyceric acid. So we will write it here, and at last, that is in the last step where the conversion of phosphoenol pyruvate to pyruvic acid is taking place, here ADP will get changed into ATP. So by this we can calculate the energy formation, but let me first mark one thing, that is in this step I am just putting ... So above this step only one molecule will involve. Why? Because here the equilibrium exists between the triose sugars. So what happened? The same step will be followed over here also, because it will get changed into the same molecule. So we need to write it as twice, because the twice of the thing is happening from this step to the further steps. So we need to just write into 2, or you may write 2 of each of the thing is happening, that is 2 ADP will get changed into 2 ATP. Here also the same thing, here also 2 NAD plus will get changed into 2 NADH, and likewise 2 moles of these things are forming, 2 molecules, or you may just assume 2 moles of each of the particular molecular entities are getting formed. So this is important to note, because here only 1, but here 2 mole of each of the component will be there. That is important to note. And what other thing that we should need to mark it over here, that is by the action of phosphatase S3PO4, that is phosphate will get liberated in the form of phosphoric acid. Also you may write it over here, because here also phosphatase action is taking place. Likewise we can see that here water is getting liberated out, so we may write H2O. And we also need to see that in this step what happened? Phosphate is getting associated. So we can write as S3PO4 is getting added up, because here you will see two phosphates are getting associated with that of glyceric acid. So S3PO4 will get associated up in this step. So we need to write it like this. So these are the things which we may additionally represent in this. And what other thing that we should know, that is regarding particular entities, or you can say regarding particular functional groups which may interrupt these steps due to the impairment of the functioning of the enzymes which is involved in a particular step. And what are those? Like here I am writing fluoride. The presence of fluoride may inhibit the working of enolase. So this thing is associated with this step. Likewise, you may also write it over here. Arsenic. The presence of arsenic may impair this step. That is, the kinase enzyme will not function because of the binding of arsenic. So this can also impair the particular step in this glycolysis pathway. Likewise, here also we may represent one more thing, that is presence of sulfhydryl group, that is SH group, which you may have seen, which is present in cysteine amino acid. I may just show you over here. This is cysteine. If you remember, we talked about this thing while I was telling about the disulfide linkage. Disulfide linkage used to form between two cysteine molecules. So what happened? The presence of sulfhydryl group either together with some iodate or acetate molecules. So it will inhibit this step where the dehydrogenase used to operate. That's why the presence of these molecules may inhibit the particular step of the glycolysis. So it should be noted. And likewise, we will see some other things, whatever is relevant regarding this glycolysis, and that is the calculation of energy. So how we will calculate the energy? Here we may write minus 1 ATP. Why? Because 1 ATP is getting broken down. And likewise here also we may write minus 1 ATP, because in this step also 1 ATP will get changed into ADP. And here I told you that when the electron will pass from the center of the enzyme, which is particularly dehydrogenase, to the further protein complexes in that of electron transport system, what will happen? That 3 ATP will be formed, or you can say 3 molecules of ATP will be formed at that time. So we can write 3 ATP for this, 3 ATP, and it will be positive because it will be the gain of ATP. Likewise here we may write plus 1 ATP. In this step, see, ADP is getting changed into ATP. And here also we may write plus 1 ATP. So what happened? I already told you, you need to multiply each of the components in this step by 2. So what will happen? It will become 6 ATP, and here it will become 2 ATP, and here also it will be 2 ATP, and at these positions minus 1 ATP and minus 1 ATP. So if we summed it together, what we will get? Plus 6 ATP plus 2 and at last minus 1 and minus 1. So it will finally give us net gain of 8 ATP. So 8 ATP molecules will be obtained as net gain. Why? Because 2 ATP molecules will get consumed in these steps, that is occurring here, that is in the conversion of glucose to glucose 6-phosphate and in the conversion of fructose 6-phosphate to fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Therefore, we will obtain 8 ATP in net gain in case of glycolysis. But one thing we must remember, suppose somebody will ask that without going into electron transport system, what net gain of ATP is there in the glycolysis, then it will be 2 ATP, because 4 ATP will be obtained from these steps and 2 ATP will get lost in these steps. So we will write 2 ATP net gain in case without ETS, in case electron transport chain is not used. So this is the concept whatever we have regarding this particular pathway, that is glycolysis, which is common in aerobic as well as in anaerobic system. But see, in anaerobic system you might have seen that what happened, 2 ATP is the net gain. Why? Due to this reason 2 ATP is getting generated, but what reduction of NAD plus is occurring and that is getting changed into NADH. Thereby what happened, that will get used up in the form of coupled reaction. Further, that is happening over there in the steps where dehydrogenases are working, like lactate dehydrogenase, alcohol dehydrogenase, and finally alcohol is formed or lactic acid is formed, that you have seen earlier. And we need to put bracket also, because here I have marked it, the formation of ATP with brackets. So you need to put bracket in order to understand that and try to remember this fact. So these are the entire steps whatever we have seen regarding glycolysis. And one thing more I would like to tell you is regarding the requirement of cofactors for the working of different enzymes which are there in specific steps of this pathway. And these cofactors are like magnesium, which is required for the activity of kinases. You might have seen that kinases are working for the transfer of phosphate group. So for such activities kinases are required. Kinases. Likewise, it is also required for the working of enolase and for mutase. So in the steps where such enzymes are working, like kinases, enolases, mutases, so if such enzymes are working at that place, such a cofactor like magnesium is required for the activity of enzyme. Likewise, the other cofactors, you can say like magnesium and manganese, together required for the activity of dehydrogenases. Dehydrogenases. And what else? These ions are serving as cofactor. Likewise, what else is there? We can say like iron. I am just putting the bracket because these enzymes will come further, but for sake of knowledge I am telling you that like iron. Iron is required for the activity of aconitase particularly. Likewise, calcium, you might have seen there in case of glycogenolysis. So calcium is required where? For the activity of phosphorylase enzyme. Phosphorylase. So these are the important cofactors which are required for the activity of different enzymes that we should remember. And I also think it too essential to tell you that the steps of glycolysis have been classified in three main domains, and these are the destabilization, of glucose molecule that I told you previously. So it happens in these steps. You can say in these steps this thing is happening, and thereafter the formation of 3 carbon sugars, that is the breakdown of glucose molecule into 3 carbon sugars, that are the basic sugars, because these are trioses. So this step is signifying the breakdown of glucose into 3 carbon sugars, and from here to here what happened, the formation of pyruvic acid is taking place, that is the stable molecule, and which will enter further into the pathway for its breakdown. As you might have seen in case of fermentation, acetaldehyde is getting formed from pyruvic acid, but in case you will see the other fermentation process, there directly the end product is getting formed from that of pyruvic acid by the help of dehydrogenase enzymes. We may see that this step can said to be the formation of pyruvic acid. These steps of oxidation, or you can say the breakdown of the molecules, will lead to the formation of pyruvic acid molecule, which is the stable molecule, and that will enter further into the pathway. As we can see in case of aerobic pathway, it will enter into the Krebs cycle. So this is all about the glycolysis. We already have seen the different steps, and now I will tell you how the molecule of pyruvic acid will enter into the Krebs cycle. Before moving to the Krebs cycle, I would like to tell you 2 things which are important, and that is how the glycolysis occurs in erythrocytes. RBCs or erythrocytes. And the second thing which we need to understand is what are the different sort of factors which used to regulate the glycolysis. So we need to understand these 2 things that are also concerned to glycolysis, and then after we will discuss about Krebs cycle. So if we see the glycolysis that occurs in RBCs, it is important to note that mitochondria is absent in RBCs, particularly in the RBCs of mammals, that we can understand about human beings. So RBCs lack mitochondria. It means the further oxidation of pyruvic acid, whatever is formed as the end product of glycolysis, cannot be processed. So due to this, and why it is like that? Because if the mitochondria is absent, the Krebs cycle is not possible. And what other things which is relevant in understanding the glycolysis which occurs in red blood corpuscles, that is, here a pathway loop is present, that is So what does it mean? That at the first instance where the ATP formation used to occur in the glycolysis, there such a loop is present which causes the formation of 2,3-bisphosphoglycerate compound, and thereby the formation of ATP is avoided in that particular step. So we need to represent that thing in the pathway, and for that reason I need to rub it down. Glycolysis starts from glucose, we already know that, and from there the 3 carbon compounds are formed, that is the basic carbon sugars, which is glyceraldehyde, 3-phosphate, which is found to present in equilibrium to that of we already have seen that, and triose phosphate isomerase is the enzyme which used to promote the interconversion, and after that we already have seen that 1,3-bisphospho glyceric acid is formed, and from 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid, normally in the glycolytic pathway we can see that it will again form the compound, that is 3-phosphoglyceric acid. So 3-phosphoglyceric acid is formed from 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid, and we already have seen that here NAD plus gets converted into NADH, which used to carry electrons to the electron transport system. And also in this step, the phosphate from the first position of bisphosphoglyceric acid is transferred to that of ADP molecule, and ATP will be resulted. So this is the first instance where ATP is formed. If you remember the glycolysis pathway that we have discussed just now, you might have seen that at earlier 2 instances ADP is formed from ATP, means breakdown of ATP used to occur, but at this position what is happening, that ATP is resulted from that of ADP. And what we need to understand in terms of glycolysis of that of RBCs is that here 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid forms another compound which is 2,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid or 2,3-bisphosphoglycerate if we called it in ionic form, and from here it will again get converted into 3-phosphoglyceric acid, and later on 2-phosphoglyceric acid, phosphenol pyruvic acid, and at last pyruvic acid is getting formed. And what enzyme used to work in this step? The first enzyme is bisphosphoglycerate mutase, since it is causing the exchange of position for the phosphate group. So the mutase enzyme will be here to work. And what enzyme? I am just putting the bracket for the enzyme so that you may understand it clearly. And what enzyme will work at this position? That is in conversion of 2,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid to that of 3-phosphoglyceric acid. So here the removal of phosphate is occurring. So phosphatase will work. The name will be 2,3-bisphosphoglycerate glycerate phosphatase. Here also I am putting the bracket so that it will be clear, and here the conversion used to occur and it will form 3-phosphoglyceric acid. So this is a sort of loop that occurs in erythrocytes, and due to this reason the first instance of the energy generation used to be avoided. And what other thing is there in that sort of glycolysis? That is, finally pyruvic acid is formed, which is normally found to occur in glycolysis. But this cannot enter into other steps of oxidation or breakdown, that is Krebs cycle, that you may find in other cells. Why? Because RBCs used to lack mitochondria, and this is the reason that further the degradation of pyruvic acid cannot be possible in case of erythrocytes. So this is the particular pathway which you have seen regarding erythrocytes. So we have seen that 2,3-bis phosphoglyceric acid is formed. 2,3-bis phosphoglyceric acid is formed in the glycolysis that is taking place in erythrocytes. So what requirement is there of this compound in the pathway? It do not allow the generation of energy, because the step which is just coming after 1,3-bis phosphoglyceric acid, that is in the formation of 3-phosphoglyceric acid, what happened? That ATP is getting generated, but due to this bypass, that is in the formation of 2,3-bis phosphoglyceric acid, in that bypass what happened? That this compound is essential for physiological reason. If we see the hemoglobin which is present in the blood, so what utility of this compound is there? Utility is that if we will see the respiratory system of mammals and higher animals, there what happened? For the delivery of oxygen into the tissues, this compound is essential. Why? Because binding of 2,3-bis phosphoglyceric acid to that of hemoglobin decreases the affinity of binding with that of oxygen. Thereby what happened? The oxygen gets released into the tissues, or you can say will be liberated to the tissues. So it is essential that 2,3-bis phosphoglyceric acid is getting formed by this bypass method in the glycolysis pathway. Thereby the suitable delivery of the oxygen is getting ascertained. So this is the reason, this is the prime reason why this compound is essential, and that is getting formed by the bypass method in the glycolysis, particularly which you have seen occurs in that of erythrocytes, that is red blood corpuscles. So it is an essential method by that context. So we need to write other things, whatever is essential about it. We already have seen the pathway that is concerned to the erythrocytes, and I told you how the glycolysis occurs in the RBCs. But let me tell you about the compounds which are associated with this fact, and that is, we have seen that 2,3-diphospho or bis-phosphoglyceric acid is formed in case of the loop which is diverted out from the glycolytic pathway. So what is that compound and how we will make the structure of 2,3-bis-phosphoglyceric acid? So we already know the structure of glyceric acid. This is the structure of glyceric acid, and if we want to write one 3-bis phosphoglyceric acid, we need to put phosphate here at the first position because we have to start counting from here. So this is the first position, this is second, and the third will be this one, that is CH2OH, and H needs to be removed from this position also in order to make it 1,3-bis phosphoglyceric acid. So this is 1,3-bis phosphoglyceric acid, and this one is glyceric acid, the basic molecule. Now we will make 2,3-bis phosphoglyceric acid. So this is the second position and this one is the third position. So this will be 2,3-bis phosphoglyceric acid. You have seen that the bis-phosphoglycerate mutase enzyme used to cause the shifting of the phosphate from the first position to the second position, and that is evident from the loop whatever we have seen in the glycolysis that occurs in erythrocytes. So this is 2,3-bis phosphoglyceric acid. And if you want to make 3-phosphoglyceric acid, you can easily make it out. How? This will be 3-phosphoglyceric acid. So this will be 3-phosphoglyceric acid, and here you have seen this is glyceric acid molecule, and in case you want to represent in the form of glycerate, how you will make? You need to just write it in ionic form. So this is glycerate. So this is glycerate molecule. So it is very easy to represent the molecule, and when you will represent the molecule, it will be easier for you to understand the pathway and whatever mechanism is being operated in that. So you must understand the framework of the molecule also in order to have the conceptual clarity about this particular process or this particular pathway whatever we are studying. So here you have seen this is glyceric acid, 1,3-bis phosphoglyceric acid, 2,3-bis phosphoglyceric acid, 3-phosphoglyceric acid, and this is glycerate. And if you want to make it 2-phosphoglyceric acid, you need to just put phosphate here, and the other things, that is CH2OH and COH, will be on their own position. So this will become 2-phosphoglyceric acid. So we can represent the pathway easily by substituting these molecules. Now I need to tell you about the regulating factors, how the glycolysis pathway is getting regulated by the presence of certain factors. So the factors which affects the glycolysis, or you can say the regulation of glycolysis, is possible via the activity of kinases which have their allosteric function. That is, some modulators used to function in controlling the enzyme activity, or the binding site or the active site which is meant for binding to the substrate is getting regulated by the binding of some modulator in the other subunit of the enzyme that we can see over here. So the enzymes, particularly hexokinase, other one is phosphofructokinase, and together with that of phosphoglycerate kinase and pyruvic acid kinase we can see that most of the enzymes like hexokinase, phosphofructokinase and that of pyruvic acid kinase used to have allosteric activity, are found to have allosteric activity. So these enzymes, due to this reason, these may serve as the regulatory factors. Due to this, these may serve in regulation of pathway. So these enzymes may serve for the regulation of pathway due to the reason that these possess allosteric activity. And what other facts are there? There are certain poisons which may have inhibitory effect. There are certain chemicals which are just poison, or you can say have inhibitory effect over the pathway in the particular steps where such entities may involve, and these are the inhibitors or poisons like iodoacetate. Iodoacetate, we have seen that it involves in the step where the enzyme glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. The enzyme glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase having SH group, having SH or sulfhydryl group, gets bound with that of iodoacetate like compounds, and thereby inhibition occurs. Likewise, we may see the compounds like arsenate or arsenic compounds can cause inhibition at particular step, that is can cause inhibition by affecting the enzyme, that is phosphoglycerate kinase, and in the same way fluoride can inhibit the activity of enolase. So we have seen that these are the three instances where inhibitors may affect the glycolysis pathway, and by inhibiting the step it may affect the entire pathway. So these are particular steps where you have seen about this enzyme, that is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase, which is affected by iodoacetate compounds, which can bind to the SH group or sulfhydryl group, which is often found to be present in cysteine amino acid. And likewise, arsenate can inhibit this particular enzyme, that is phosphoglycerate kinase, and likewise fluoride can inhibit enolase enzymes, which you have seen is the enzyme which is associated for the conversion of 2-phosphoglyceric acid into phosphoenol pyruvate. So this is what about inhibition of the glycolysis by the involvement of these chemicals. And we already know that there are certain cofactors. So this is one point. Another one is cofactors. The presence of cofactor is necessary for the proper activity of the enzyme. So cofactors like, important cofactor is magnesium, which is required for the activity of kinases. As you have seen, hexokinase, phosphofructokinase, phosphoglycerate kinase and pyruvic acid kinase. So different kinases are there in the pathway and their activity requires magnesium. So such enzymes can work efficiently on the presence of this cofactor, that is magnesium. Likewise, manganese, together with magnesium, manganese ions are required for the activity of dehydrogenases. That is a oxidoreductase type enzyme, and this dehydrogenase, as you have seen, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. So such enzymes require manganese or magnesium together with manganese for their proper activity. So there are several things which is associated with the pathway, and allosteric enzyme activity, feedback inhibition, such factors used to affect the progression of pathway, and that's why such things are regarded to be the regulatory means for the pathway. So we have seen all those factors, and now I would like to tell you about the formation of acetyl-CoA, which is an important compound of the catalytic process. Thereby the pyruvic acid will enter into the aerobic type of respiratory system. So we will see how the oxidation and degradation of pyruvic acid will occur further by entering into the Krebs cycle. So for that reason we need to understand the acetyl-CoA junction, which comes just after the formation of pyruvic acid, while studying about the process of respiration at cellular level. So this is all about the glycolysis. Now we will move to Krebs cycle. So we have seen that pyruvic acid is obtained as the end product in case of glycolysis. Pyruvic acid or pyruvate, you can also call it as pyruvate. I told you that pyruvate is just the ionic form of pyruvic acid, but what happened, the pyruvic acid needs to get changed into acetyl-CoA. It will further get changed into acetyl-CoA. What is this acetyl-CoA? Acetyl-CoA is an important entity. Why I am telling like this? Because it will serve as the junction which helps in the interconversion of different molecules, or you can say different biomolecules. How? Because acetyl-CoA can also be formed from other sources. From where it can be formed, we will see that. From the transamination of proteins, acetyl-CoA can be formed, and pyruvic acid is already coming from the glucose. Glucose means from the carbohydrate source. So this pyruvic acid is already coming from the carbohydrate source, that is glucose. Here we can see that from proteins, by the process of transamination, acetyl-CoA can be formed. Likewise, it can also be formed from fat, because fatty acid is formed by the degradation of fat molecules at most of the times, and by the beta oxidation. Beta oxidation means the carbon which is present at beta position will get oxidized. So by the beta oxidation, acetyl-CoA will get formed. And what other things are possible which can happen at this step? That are, you can put arrow like this, because exchange of fatty acid may occur. In turn, something which is getting changed from protein to acetyl-CoA can again form fat by this process, and passing through acetyl-CoA junction, it will serve like as a vital junction or a pivotal point in the pathways. So here we can see that from acetyl-CoA other things can be formed like cholesterol. It may also lead to the formation of cholesterol. Cholesterol, you know, this is a lipid, and it may also form cholesterol. Likewise, it may also lead to the formation of ketone bodies. Ketone bodies, as the process is called ketogenesis, and ketone bodies are often used in brain. So this is important, and here what enzyme will work? The enzyme will be pyruvate dehydrogenase. The enzyme will be pyruvate dehydrogenase, because we are moving from glycolysis. So we will take the prime step, what is coming from there, that is glucose. So we are following that, although I tried to make you familiar with the fact that acetyl-CoA can be formed from protein, it may also get formed from fatty acid, and acetyl-CoA may also further lead to the formation of cholesterol. So anything, whatever is getting converted to acetyl-CoA, either it is carbohydrate or a fat or a protein, that will get changed into the cholesterol, and likewise it may also get changed into ketone bodies. So it is an essential junction, or you can say it is an essential or a pivotal molecule from where the interconversion of different biomolecules is possible, and it will get further enter into the Krebs cycle. So firstly we need to see the other things, that is how it may get formed. Then after I will tell you about Krebs cycle. So as you know that in our diet, most of the things which are present in our food are either protein, carbohydrate, or it may be fat or lipid. So it will get assimilate into the blood in their simpler forms, that is into their monomeric forms, and by that amino acid will be resulted during digestion. Likewise, from carbohydrate, glucose will be resulted during digestion. Likewise, in case of fat, fatty acids are resulted during digestion. So these will get absorbed into the intestine, or you can say will get assimilate into the blood, and thereby these will further lead to the formation of acetyl-CoA. In order to enter into the pathways, and thereby the energy is generated. Suppose it will enter into the Krebs cycle, energy will be generated, or these biomolecules can suitably inter-exchanged into their required forms, and thereby they will enter into the metabolic pathways. So this is the vital concept. Here the digestion and absorption is taking place. That is here digestion process, and here absorption into the intestine. So these simpler biomolecules will get changed into acetyl-CoA, and now we will see how the acetyl-CoA enters into the Krebs cycle and the different steps used to arise, and what sort of energy conversion will take place in case of Krebs cycle that used to occur in the aerobic pathways, or you can say the aerobic respiration pathway. Dear students, I have written some key points and that you should note it down, because these are concerned to this topic and I summarized all the facts together in point wise manner. So let us see what are those points. Steps of glycolysis occurs in cytoplasm or cytosol of the cell. We already know that glycolysis occurs in cytoplasm, that is cytosol of the cell. And what is the next point? That is glycolysis pathway is common to anaerobic as well as aerobic respiration systems, because we have seen that glycolysis used to occur in those of microorganisms also, like that of bacteria, and it also used to occur in the higher forms, that is plants and animals that have aerobic type of respiration. And what is the third point? Glycolysis is regarded to be a catabolic pathway or a catalytic process which leads to the formation of pyruvic acid. We already know that pyruvic acid is formed in the last of the glycolysis. So that thing is written here. Now what is the next point? The process follows with phenomenon as destabilization of glucose, its breakdown into 3 carbon sugars, and finally formation of pyruvic acid. So the cascade occurs and there are 3 steps in this glycolysis pathway, and that is destabilization of glucose, formation of 3 carbon sugars, that is firstly it gets break down into 3 carbon sugars, and finally pyruvic acid is formed, that is also a 3 carbon sugar which later on converted into acetyl-CoA. So this is the fact, and for the convenience we used to just divide the process in 3 different domains. So that thing is written here. Now what is the next point? The compound glucose 6-phosphate is found to work as a vital junction from where the pathway can be directed to glycogenesis or pentose phosphate pathway. This is actually pentose phosphate pathway that we can write in abbreviated form as PPP. So that's why I have written pentose phosphate pathway here. So one side the 6-phosphogluconolactone can be formed that enters into the pentose phosphate pathway. On another side, glucose 1-phosphate can be formed from the glucose 6-phosphate, and that will enter into glycogenesis. So as per the requirement, this used to occur at the junction. That junction is glucose 6-phosphate. Now we will see the next point, the step pertaining to change of fructose 6-phosphate to fructose 1,6-bisphosphate is that regarded to be the rate limiting step. Why it is so? Because here the phosphate needs to be added, and the enzyme which used to participate in this activity, that bears a allosteric type enzyme function, and that's why this step is rate limiting, on which the rate of entire pathway depends. So this is the fact. Now what is the next point? The next point is written in continuity to the previous point. That is, although the non-equilibrium process steps are regulated by the enzymes that are kinases. So these enzymes are hexokinase, phosphofructokinase and pyruvic acid kinase. So these all enzymes used to regulate the pathway. That means the pathway is entirely run by these enzymes in their overall dynamics. So this thing is written. Now what is the next point? Hexokinase allosteric activity. First let me introduce with the allosteric activity, and I already told you that allosteric means what happened. Let me tell you about the allosteric enzyme activity. Suppose there are two subunits in the enzyme. And this is the active site. So what happened? That substrate has to bind to the active site, and another molecule or factor is there which has to bind to this site. When it will bind to this site, it will modify the shape of this particular active site with which substrate has to bind. So in the next step we can see on getting modified, the active site will not be suitable for binding to the substrate, because the binding of the modulator, or you can say this factor, will modify the shape of the active site in the subunit which is meant for binding to the substrate. So this is called allosteric activity, and we are here just representing the inhibition. That is, what sort of inhibition occurs by the allosteric activity means the binding of a factor or a modulator to some site of the subunit affects the active site which is meant for binding to the substrate. So this is the actual thing whatever we want to explain. Now let us come to the point, and here we can see that hexokinase allosteric activity is influenced by the concentration of glucose 6-phosphate, as high concentration of glucose 6-phosphate has having inhibitory effect over the activity of the hexokinase enzyme, which is meant for the conversion of glucose into glucose 6-phosphate. So that is the fact. Now what is the next step? Here we will see the explanation of the phosphofructokinase allosteric activity, which is modulated on the abundance of ATP. That is, high concentration of ATP used to have inhibitory effect on the activity of phosphofructokinase, because it is also an allosteric enzyme and its activity is affected by the high concentration of ATP. That's why it is also a factor in terms of regulation. Now what is the third point? Pyruvic acid kinase is also an allosteric enzyme whose activity is inhibited by the high concentration of ATP. Here also the high concentration of ATP used to inhibit the activity of pyruvic acid kinase. Likewise, in the manner we have seen the previous fact. So now let us move to the other fact whatever I have written, that is glycolysis pathway in anaerobic system, like microbial fermentation and rigorous exercise as oxygen deficient condition in muscles finally leads to the formation of lactate after the processing of pyruvic acid. It means lactate is generated, as you have seen, in case of fermentation by bacterial cells, or in case you have seen when rigorous exercise is performed, then lactic acid is generated in the muscles. And what happened? That lactic acid will finally go to Cori cycle for further processing. So that fact I have written, and here you can have the idea that finally lactic acid is formed after the completion of glycolysis in case of such systems, as I have stated, particularly in anaerobic systems. Now we will see the other fact. While the glycolysis that occurs in RBCs used to result into the formation of pyruvic acid, which cannot be oxidized further due to absence of mitochondria, and also no net ATP is generated. Why I have written like that? Because mitochondria is not present in RBCs, that is erythrocytes or red blood corpuscles. There what happened? That the ATP generation could not occur in that particular step, that is from the 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate to 3-phosphoglycerate, where first time ATP is generated in the glycolysis. So here I have mentioned that fact, and there the further oxidation of the pyruvic acid is not possible, because that is the end product, and finally it may not get processed. Why? Because mitochondria is absent in RBCs, that I have mentioned here. And now we will see the other facts. In erythrocytes, due to a bypass, that is 2,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid is generated after 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid, and first instance of ATP generation is avoided. The same thing is there, whatever I have just explained you. And here one more thing is important to note, that is 2,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid is formed from 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid by the help of mutase enzyme, and due to this bypass, what happened? That ATP cannot be obtained in the process. That is the first instance of ATP generation in glycolysis. Now we will see whatever facts I have written over here. That is 2,3-bisphosphoglycerate is important in decreasing the affinity of binding oxygen by hemoglobin, thereby causing delivery of oxygen to the tissues. So in what way 2,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid is important? That we have seen in the previous point. It is important because it has more binding affinity in comparison to that of oxygen, and by that reason what happened? The delivery of oxygen used to occur in the tissues from the hemoglobin. So this is the important fact. Now what is the next fact? For moving into Krebs cycle to carry out further oxidation, acetyl-CoA is formed from pyruvic acid with the help of pyruvate dehydrogenase, a multi-enzyme complex that requires cofactor thymine diphosphate, which is derived from vitamin B1. As we know, thymine is vitamin B1, and as I already told you that NAD contains niacin, and that is derived from vitamin B3. Likewise, FAD contains group flavin, and that is derived from vitamin B2, that is riboflavin. Here the thymine vitamin is important, and that serve as cofactor for the enzyme pyruvate dehydrogenase. And in what form it is present? As thymine diphosphate. So it should be remembered. Now we will see the next point. There are some chemical entities which used to bind the specific enzymes and inhibit the glycolysis pathway. What are those entities? First one is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase activity is inhibited by SS, that is sulfhydryl group. I already told you cysteine contains that group in the side chain, and iodoacetate compound used to serve as poison, particularly by binding this group. So this is important to know, and this enzyme, that is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase, is a tetrameric enzyme. That enzyme has the function in conversion of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate into 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid. So this is important to note. Now what is the other compound? That is arsenic or arsenate, whose presence inhibits formation of ATP in conversion of the compound 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate to 3-phosphoglycerate by competing for Pi. Pi is what? Inorganic phosphate. That is, wherever you will find like this, it is inorganic phosphate. Inorganic organic phosphate. And suppose it is written like this, then what is this one? I already told you this is pyrophosphate. Two phosphates, two inorganic phosphates are present together. That's why it is called pyrophosphate. Pyrophosphate. So we should remember this thing, particularly in pathways. Now we will see the next fact, that is fluoride inhibits the activity of enzyme enolase. So we have seen that there are three particular inhibitory compounds, that is iodoacetate, arsenate, and the other one is fluoride. So all these things can serve as inhibitor for the glycolysis pathway. Now the next point, none of the steps in glycolysis utilize oxygen directly. That's why it is regarded to be an anaerobic process. So we should remember this thing, that it is a purely anaerobic process and none of the steps are utilizing oxygen directly. And what is the other fact that I have written? Cofactors like magnesium ions are required by kinases. I already told you that cofactors like magnesium ion is required for the proper activity of kinases, mutase, enolase, etc. And likewise magnesium and manganese ions are required for the proper activity of dehydrogenases. We already have seen such enzymes in the different steps which are working for a specific need in the pathway. So we will see the next point. The enzymes of different classes are required at specific steps as oxidoreductases, that is dehydrogenase. Main oxidoreductase which you have seen in the pathway is dehydrogenase, where oxidation reduction is getting promoted, and hexokinase, phosphohexokinase, phosphoglycerate kinase, pyruvic acid kinase. Likewise such enzymes like kinases are working for the transfer of phosphate group. Now we will see the other one, that is of class hydrolases. And what are those? Basically phosphatases, which causes the removal of phosphate group from the organic compound, and these are glucose 6-phosphatase, fructose 1,6-bisphosphatase, and glucose 6-phosphatase, fructose 1,6-bisphosphatase, etc. Now we will see the liases. What important liases are there in this pathway particularly? Aldolase and enolase. These are two important liases which used to serve for the conversion of the compounds in this pathway. And what is the next enzyme? Isomerases. And what are those? Particularly triose phosphate isomerase and phosphoglycerate mutase. So these are the important isomerases in the glycolysis pathway. Now what is the next point that I have written? And that is in terms of energy generation or cellular level bioenergetics. The main relevance of the pathway is to understand how energy is generated here in this process, and that is the first place where the breakdown of ATP is taking place. Means we need to deduct that while calculating the energy, and that is particularly in the step. I have mentioned the step also side by side. See, you can see over here, and these are where the glucose will change into glucose 6-phosphate, and the corresponding step is when the glucose will change into glucose 6-phosphate. First time the breakdown of ATP will take place, that is ATP will get converted into ADP. And what is the next site? That is 1 ATP breakdown will take place at the step where fructose 6-phosphate will get converted into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. So in these two steps we can see the expense of energy occurs. And now the next site where the energy formation used to occur, and that is where the ATP formation takes place, particularly when NADPH is generated, and that carries electron to the electron transport system, and finally from there 3 ATP is generated in corresponding to 1 NADPH molecule. So that step is particularly when glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate get converted into 1,3-bis phosphoglycerate. It is important to know, and you already have seen in the pathway. And now what is the next site where ATP formation used to occur? That one is in the step where 1,3-bis phosphoglyceric acid gets converted into 3-phosphoglyceric acid. Likewise, the next step where the ATP formation used to occur, and that is where the conversion of phosphoenol pyruvate into pyruvic acid is taking place. So these are the important steps where the breakdown of ATP or formation of ATP used to take place. And you can see that in the last I have written, since 2 ATP will get breakdown, that's why I have subtracted 2 from the 10. That is 8 ATP formation used to occur in net, and using ETS, that is when you are using electron transport system. Otherwise only 2 ATP can be there, which you already have seen in the anaerobic pathway earlier. So this is the concept about bioenergetics of this particular pathway. Now we will see the next point or the last point that I have written in concern to the glycolysis, and that is whatever I have written here in this point. Finally, pyruvic acid, that is 3-carbon sugar, gets converted into acetyl-CoA, which is a 2-carbon compound, and that enters into Krebs cycle of mitochondria in aerobic systems. So what does it mean? Acetyl-CoA contains coenzyme A, but it is a 2-carbon sugar. And how it will become 2-carbon sugar? Because carbon dioxide, that is CO2, will be liberated out. And what enzyme will work over here? That is pyruvate dehydrogenase. That's why the formation of acetyl-CoA used to take place from the pyruvic acid, and that acetyl-CoA will further enters into the pathway like Krebs cycle, which is a vital pathway for the oxidation of such compounds like pyruvic acid, particularly in aerobic systems where oxygen is utilized. And you will see that in organisms where oxygen is utilized in the cellular respiration, such steps used to occur. So it is evident, and we have seen all these steps together. And I also told you that glycolysis was earlier discovered in year 1940, and it is also known as Embden-Meyerhof pathway. Why? Because it was earlier discovered by Embden together with Paranus. That's why it is also called as Embden-Meyerhof pathway. And in this pathway, we already have seen how the different catalytic steps used to operate for the oxidation or breakdown of glucose, which is the vital compound for providing energy to the organisms. And such thing we have seen over here, and we have also seen several factors which used to affect the steps of this process. So you just note down all such points, whatever I have summarized here, and written that clearly, and try to understand each of the fact and remember that. That is important in concern to this pathway, that is glycolysis. That's all. Thanks.